Why, hello and welcome everybody. It is Pohx again, and today I really want to go ahead and go over the new Legacy League that drops in 14 days, 1 hour, 31 minutes, and 37 seconds. It's going to be the new Challenge League for hardcore and softcore, and it's going to be, I believe, the new 3-month league that's going to be 2.6 before the actual 3.0, the Fall of Oriath, and you can find this on their website at pathofexile.com. So, really fast, let's go ahead and jump into and watch the trailer of the Legacy League itself, and then let's talk about all the mechanics and things that are changing within the league itself.
The Legacy League is Path of Exile's next challenge league before our massive expansion, the Fall of Oriath, is released later this year. In the Legacy League, you'll experience all 17 leagues from Path of Exile's past, but with a twist. Monsters drop league stones, which can be used to modify the next few areas you visit to have the properties of those leagues. Just like other Path of Exile items, these can be traded with other players and can get modifiers that magnify their mechanics. You can have up to 3 league stones active at once. Unique items associated with these leagues can be found while you're playing under the effect of their league
MTX
stone.
skin.
If you're lucky, you may even find a relic, a special version of an old unique item with its original balance values intact. Some of these will be extraordinarily rare, but we expect someone will try to collect them all. The Legacy Challenge League launches on March 3rd. See you in Rayclast. The League is Path of Exile's next challenge league before our massive expansion, the Fall of Oriath, is released later this year. In the Legacy League, you'll experience all 17 leagues from Path.
I want you guys to listen to that one more time.
17 leagues from Path of Exile's.
Okay, so this is not my first time looking at this information. I've actually looked at it before, and I'll upload that video before. Or after going over a bunch of my stuff. So essentially, the Legacy League is going to introduce every single league that we have played through previously, kind of at our own leisure, depending on how we want to actually customize the league itself. And we'll go into that once we go over the league stones here in a minute. So, the Legacy Challenge League. The release of Path of Exile 3.0.0 later this year will herald a new era of Path of Exile. As we look towards the future of Path of Exile, our March update gives you a chance to celebrate Path of Exile's history in the Legacy Challenge Leagues. These leagues have self-contained economies and provide an opportunity for you to enjoy a fresh start and demonstrate your mastery of Path of Exile. For players who don't really know what this is, it's every 3 months, maybe, give or take a few weeks in between there, Path of Exile releases these things called new leagues, or if you play Diablo, they're like seasons. Basically, if you choose to play in the permanent leagues, hardcore and standard, you can. Or if you want to indulge in some of the new updates and whatnot and kind of test out all the new features, you can play the new challenge leagues, which everyone starts again from fresh. Like, it doesnn't matter what the only thing that matters is your experience and your skill, and that's pretty much it. And then your race rewards, but that doesn't matter until like a month in, and we don't really have to talk about that, it's irrelevant. So this is going to be called, it's kind of like the ultimate flashback event. Previously, they've released like 2-week races and whatnot called Flashback, and Flashback was essentially all the mods we fought before, but without our choice. It was like, Monday has Beyond Breach Invasion, Tuesday is Parandus Tempest, and they've set it up like that before. So Path of Exile's Legacy, Path of Exile Legacy pays homage to the, I've never heard of that word before, to the leagues and items of the past. Do you want to experience the heart-stopping surprise encounters of Invasion, risk valuable items for even more valuable rewards and talisman, or acquire powerful crafting items in Essence? In the Legacy League, you can choose your own challenges and even mix and match them. League Stones. You can find and equip up to 3 League Stones at once, which turn the next area you enter into a supercharged version of all those leagues. League Stones can drop with modifiers which make those areas both more challenging and more rewarding. If you've ever wanted to fight a triple essenced avian wretch holding a talisman while a corrupting tempest is active, now's your chance. So these are the League Stones. So essentially what they seem to do is on the right you can see a picture here which you can slot your League Stones into, and they consume, well, they have 1 of 3 charges as a basic one, so this would just be a white one. A blue one would have, you know, affixes and whatnot. Doesn't seem like you can roll them because they're corrupted already. So they kind of would drop like talismans, right? Or like, I guess you could say breach rings. This one rolled 2 additional charges, so it's out of 5. Rogue exiles in the next area will each drop a skill gem with quality. The next area will contain a Paranda's treasury. The next area will contain a Paranda's coffer. This one's pretty interesting because it guarantees a certain amount of coins, essentially, when doing Parandas. The next area will contain 2 additional breaches. So that's 3 breaches, because the one itself, the implicit, would be contains a breach, contains 2 additional. That's 3 breaches in a map. Rare breach monsters in the area will drop 2 additional splinters. So sometimes you can get upwards of 10 plus rares inside a breach. Like I'd say that's fairly common, unless you're doing a chalupa breach. They never seem to pop up. That's a lot. And I know you look at it kind of now like, oh, splinters aren't really worth anything, but they're not worth anything because people have been playing the league for so long. At the beginning of the league, if you can, you know, early get Zoth on farm, you can get these really good breach uniques, immediately ported over into our new league, and you can start playing it. Essences found in the next area will be corrupted. Next area will contain 2 additional essences. Essences are also really great for early crafting and endgame crafting in general, and also for the creation of like really interesting and unique builds, kind of sought out for from essences. And the next area will contain a stone circle, and this would be from Talisman itself. Now these are not all the mods, these are just a couple of them that we're going over right now. Alright, buffed league uniques. Personally, there's an item on here that I'm very excited to see. So, many of Path of Exile's most desirable unique items were only available during past leagues. What this means is basically like if you were running in Parandas and, you know, they release unique specifically for that league, the only way you could get them now is maybe through like RNG divination cards or going through Zana and setting up the map device as Parandas, so it basically mimics as if it's a Parandas league for that one map. Now, when a league stone is active, you have a chance to find unique items from that league. So that basically does what Zana does. We have reviewed league-specific uniques dating back to the first challenge leagues and have improved many that we felt were not relevant to the current state of Path of Exile. So while Shavron's Revelation, Headhunter, Skuld's Bridle, and many more are within your grasp, they may not be the only ones you want. So this is a insane, in my opinion, leveling shield. I know it doesn't look like a shield, but it's a shield. And it gives +3 to socketed Warcry gems. Off the top of my head, I know Rallying Cry would be pretty good for that. That's it. 8% increased cast speed. Not too bad for a caster. Some mono regen's not too bad. A little bit of ES is okay. Gain 2 power charges on using a Warcry. What this means is you should be able to realistically weapon swap, use a Warcry, and weapon swap back. I know that seems kind of try-hard, but like if you have like 14-second charges, weapon swapping every 14 seconds to just click a button shouldn't be too bad. Obviously, if it fits your build. This is cool for like trappers and stuff who don't realistically have to maybe use, you know, fucking Circle Jerk, Orbistorms, Power Charge on crit. I hate that personally. It's very inconsistent to me. On bosses it's okay, but like when you're mapping, it feels really inconsistent to have to drop another skill on the floor and then have the mobs pull into it when you could have one-shot them normally. Anyway, moving on though. Broken Faith Archon Kite Shield. 0.4% of chaos damage leeches life, gains 7% of physical damage as extra chaos damage, 5% chance to block, and gain Unholy Might on block for 10 seconds. 100% increased global armor while you have no energy shield. Now, even though this shield gives you energy shield, it says while you have no energy shield, meaning if you were to run Blood Rage, you would get this effective bonus armor. I think the Unholy Might on block is very good. I think Unholy Might is like 30% of your physical added as chaos, and it also gives you a little bit of leech, which is pretty interesting too. I still think it's a pretty decent shield. Nothing crazy wowie, but I think it's pretty actually, it's pretty fucking good, just kidding. I think it's pretty nuts. This is the one I was thinking of that's like, okay. Red Blade Banner. So, Red Blade Banner essentially is a level 35 shield that gives an okay amount of life, some decent block chance, increased taunt duration. Now, when targets are taunted, I believe they deal less damage. I don't remember if that's only through an Ascendancy node, though. I could be incorrect. Also gets 50% increased Warcry cooldown recovery speed, and 2% of attack damage leeches life against taunted enemies. It seems okay, it's nothing too bad, it's a pretty strong leech on it. Anyway, let's move on though to the other ones. So this is like the pretty big update right here. This is like pretty fucking substantial. This is the Relics and Reliquaries. Let me just mute my phone. I don't know exactly what's going on here. I do apologize, guys. Usually this doesn't happen. Alright. Players in the Legacy League may now find a special item that, when placed in the map device, allows travel to a reliquary. These treasure chambers contain a chest that can drop a relic, a special alternate frame version of an iconic unique item. If you actually look, you can see they're changing colors. From Path of Exile's history. Restored to its original balance values. There are over 40 relics to find, and the powerful ones are very rare. We're mindful of the impact these could have on existing legacy items, so these will be clearly identifiable, and I don't know what that word is, but I think it means extremely rare. So, face breakers originally could roll up to 1000% more unarmed physical damage. Now the critical strike multiplier is still nerfed, but that's okay because you're probably not playing it for crit if you're looking for the 1000% physical damage. There's a few builds that could take it. I think maybe just one actually. But this is like a 200% increase, which is pretty nuts. Bringer of Rain. Bringer of Rain's so old, it's gotten nerfed so many times I have to try to remember what's not nerfed about it. It has 210 maximum life. I don't remember what the values are. Adds 20 to 30 flat fizz to attacks. I'm not sure if that was adjusted. 15% chance to block, I think, is pretty high. Overall, Bringer is pretty solid. Should be really cool with maybe Hierophant builds or just Ancestral Warchief Totem builds. Silver Branch gives +2 to socketed bow gems. Now, the interesting thing about Silver Branch is it's also part of a prophecy chain, and I'm not exactly sure if you can still upgrade, but some people were telling me you were, meaning it would be +3 maybe. I'm not 100% sure. Alright, challenges and rewards. The Legacy League includes a set of 40 new challenges. When you complete 12 challenges, you receive the Legacy Footprints. At 24, you receive the Legacy Weapon Effect. When you complete your 36th challenge, you receive the Legacy Portal. These microtransactions are exclusively available in the new Legacy League. From the 19th challenge onwards, and for every third challenge after that, you receive pieces of a legendary totem pole decoration to display in your hideout. The totem pole permanently showcases how many of the legacy challenges you completed during this league. Solo Self-Found mode. Solo Self-Found essentially is like Iron Man in RuneScape, if you guys have played. I think there's maybe even like some type of Iron Man in MapleStory Reboot or something like that. I don't remember 100%. Basically, you play solo and you cannot trade with anybody. You have to play solo. Everything you acquire is by yourself. Excuse me. Many of Path of Exile's players enjoy playing with the challenging restrictions of not partying or trading with other players. This self-enforcing playstyle has become even more popular over time, so we're including an officially supported solo self-found mode in Content Update 2.6.0. This would be for this league that's coming out. Legacy. This mode is completely optional and you can opt out at any time, enabling trading and partying on your character. Your progress of how far you got in the mode is recorded on a solo self-found ladder, meaning it's separate from the hardcore ladder and from the standard ladder, letting you prove your ability to play without outside assistance. For more information, there's an article to check out. Now, this is also insane news, and then it doesn't stop. These next two changes, in my opinion, are fucking phenomenal. Alright, balance changes. This balance change, literally, they just took a spear and just like pierced me. I was like, oh! Alright, this content update also contains several balance changes, including improvements to the unpopular clusters on the passive tree, more support for cold and elemental builds near the ranger on the passive tree, mana nodes behind Mind Over Matter Keystone, improvements to the claw, staff, and sword passive tree clusters, buffs to one-handed weapon base types across the board, buffs and modifications to new implicit modifiers, reworks for threshold jewels, and changes to how area of effect modifiers are handled, and many more minor changes. For details, please keep an eye out for our manifesto post. and then you get a free respec as well. I thought that was absolutely phenomenal to read personally. They like hit the nail on the coffin. I don't know if they said life specifically, but hey, they're doing a good job. They're starting. All right, additional new content. I want to make a build around one of these new threshold jewels. That's how insane I think they are personally. Maybe I'm overhyping it. I don't think so. We're adding many smaller pieces of content. I just want to emphasize on the smaller pieces of content to coincide with the release of the Legacy League. This includes a set of 10 new threshold jewels, 16 powerful new unique weapon and armor pieces, a new unique strongbox, and 6 rogue exiles. So, let's go over these new threshold jewels. Sudden Ignition Viridian Jewel. 11% increased fire damage, and with at least 40 dexterity and radius, Burning Arrow can inflict an additional ignite. Now, I don't know exactly how good this is. I know if you were to go crit Burning Arrow, you could get 2 ignites, but usually when you play bow builds, you do something with like chain, so that kind of mitigates it. You could go Pierce, but you also usually use like GMP, but I guess if you go Reach of the Council, I'm not too sure how I feel about this. I think Prolif could be interesting. I don't know how Prolif works with multiple ignite stacks. I've never tried like Emberwake Taming combo before. This one, I nut myself after. I'm not gonna lie. I named him Jim. With at least 40 dexterity and radius, Ethereal Knives fires 10 additional projectiles. Now normally this doesn't matter too much because you could go Pierce on EK or Fork or Chain. Nobody goes Fork, just kidding. But because it gets 10 additional projectiles, it complements so well with this next stat on it. With at least 40 dexterity and radius, Ethereal Knives fires projectiles in a nova. Meaning, instead of it being a frontal cone, it's an AoE. So if you were to realistically put it on a trap, and then use cluster traps, and then throw those traps, and those traps were to explode, your entire screen would be like... I don't know, it'd be pretty interesting. I don't know how good it would work, but it seems like a really... I like this idea. I like having the ability to like PB AoE off my character that's not actually scaled with area of effect, but is actually scaled with projectile speed. I don't know if this is lethargy or lethargy. I never really learned how to pronounce words in school. With at least 40 strength and radius, Glacial Hammer deals cold-only splash damage to surrounding targets. Now, this is really cool because you probably realistically wouldn't need to use Melee Splash. The only thing is Melee Splash is a multiplier, and you can get such extreme amounts of splash with it. Does this stack with Melee Splash? This is something that I think really needs to be tested, because Glacial Hammer is a pretty cool skill, but it always missed a little bit. And I think this is honestly not too bad. But I could be wrong. Maybe I'm just getting excited over nothing, really, because the base damages of Glacial Hammer are not too insane. With at least 40 strength and radius, 25% of Glacial Hammer's physical damage is converted to cold. Now, there are gloves called Hrimsorrow, and if you upgrade them with a prophecy, you get 25% of your physical converted as cold, meaning you could only use one of these gems, or you could use 2 if you want and not use the gloves. But you could use those gloves, use this jewel, and the gloves also state that your cold damage can ignite. So if you were to go crit Glacial Hammer, you would actually have a fatty ignite as well if you were to go two-handed, for example. Or you could go Prolif as an Elementalist, and then you get AoE to scale your actual Glacial Hammer and your Prolif. I thought that was kind of interesting. Here's also, I think this may have to be my personal favorite jewel that's on here right now. With at least 40 intelligence in radius, Raised Zombies Slam, meaning they have an actual attack now. Like, not just auto attack. Actually, I think they did get another attack before. I don't remember. It was a while ago. Zombies Slam attack has 50% increased cooldown recovery speed. With at least 40 intelligence and radius, Raised Zombies Slam attack deals 20% increased damage. You can have multiple ones of these. They're limited to 2. Which brings out a really cool playstyle for summoners. This means Classic Summoner might be back and might actually be pretty okay. I'm pretty excited for that. I love playing Classic Summoner. Animate Weapon was fun, but it's so overpowered, it's not even fair. And Summon Raging Spirits I've just never really taken a liking to. I didn't really like the whole, I I don't remember the bow, what it was called. Null's Inclination. Felt kind of gimmicky to me. But Classic Summoner I thought was pretty cool. So I may actually maybe test out a Classic Summoner. I think zombies are going to be really fun. With like Montragulls and ooh. Alright. Frost Snow Cobalt Jewel. Also another favorite of mine. With at least 40 intelligence and radius, Freeze Pulse fires 2 additional projectiles. With at least 40 intelligence and radius, 25% increased Freeze Pulse damage if you've shattered an enemy recently. Now the reason why I say this is such a good jewel is Freeze Pulse used to shotgun. Shotgunning was an old mechanic that basically stated if you had a projectile attack, your projectiles could all hit the same target if you lined it up properly. They then released a new patch that stated a long time ago that you can no longer do that, and a target can only be hit by one instance of a projectile unless it has an AoE associated with it. Then it's considered AoE overlapping. Basically, if you were to look at a Venn diagram and you draw 2 circles that overlap in the middle, the target would get hit twice. But previously with Freeze Pulse, like I said, you would have to use like GMP or something, which really lowers the damage, unless you decided to use like 2 rings for it that give 1 additional projectile, but you're sacrificing rings now. Or if you put it on a totem, you could use Rain of Splinters, but now you're sacrificing a jewel, and it still does cut off a bit of the damage. Now you're putting in jewels that give you 10% increased proj damage, with 25% increased Freeze Pulse damage if you shattered an enemy recently, which is within 4 seconds. So this jewel already gives you 35% increased damage, which is not too bad, and it gives you multi-proj too. So that's really, really cool for Freeze Pulse in my opinion. I really like that about it. Alright, Legacy Supporter Packs. To celebrate the release of 2.6.0, we're introducing 2 supporter packs, the Classic Pack and the Legacy Pack. They're loaded with exclusive microtransactions. The $30 Classic Pack contains 250 points, a cloak weapon effect, a form title, and a portrait frame. The $60 Legacy Pack has the same set of effects, 550 points, the Legacy Armor Set, full character glow effect, and a Baby Devourer pet. This represents over $100 of value from a $60 pack. These packs are available for purchase right now, and you'll receive their effects immediately. Note that Content Update 2.6.0 will be released on noon on Friday the 3rd, US Pacific Time. This is 9 p.m. in the CET time zone and 9 a.m. on March 4th in New Zealand time. So make sure you guys check that out as well. And then you can see the 3.0 patch information here. So really fast, let's just look a little bit at these packs. There's the Classic Supporter Pack, which has the Classic Cloak. I actually like that quite a bit. Dun dun. Feels not 1080p, man. And then we also have the Legacy Armor Set. Which I think actually has a glow on it too. There's the glow. Oh, look at the little devourers! The baby devourer pets. Oh man. Alright boys, well that's pretty much going to cover everything that we went over in Path of Exile. I do have a bunch of content to make. I do apologize. No, Ziggy D, I'm sorry. Hashtag this stream is now sponsored by Ziggy D. I do need to make a video because I hit level 100 on my occultist, so I need to redo some of my guides and release some footage on that. But overall, I do want to say thank you guys so much for all the support. Thank you guys so much again for everything you guys have helped me with. If you liked the video, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And remember, you can catch me streaming live every day at twitch.tv/Pohx. Hope you guys have a wonderful time. I hope to see you guys all in 2.6, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Take care, everybody.